by the slide for bond comments. They be saying slide for bond. I think they trolling me. The reason I just don't see him coming for Lil Durk. Let me tell you about what options he has left and why the bond was denied this time. We want to begin now with some breaking news. Rapper Lil Durk, the old block rapper, is out here feeling like his whole world is collapsing and his mind is hanging by a thread as that trial creeps closer. Ever since he got locked up, things have been hitting him from every direction. And the situation inside those walls is tearing him down in ways people on the outside don't even realize. Stick around till the end of this video, because the truth about what's really happening to Lil Durk behind bars is way wilder than anyone expected. You don't want to blink on this one, because the details coming out of that prison are shaking the entire rap game. Lil Durk's arrest didn't just surprise fans, it rattled the whole industry. The moment news broke that he was grabbed near the Miami International Airport, people were stunned. Law enforcement had been tracking moves he was making, claiming he booked multiple international flights to throw them off and slip away before they could close in on him. When they finally stepped in, he was taken into federal custody on October 17, 2020, and the pressure hasn't stopped since. Right after the arrest, a federal magistrate judge wasted no time and ordered that he stay locked up with no bond while waiting to get transferred to Los Angeles for arraignment. That decision alone had the streets buzzing because it showed the feds were taking this case deadly serious. Neither Lil Durk nor the 5 other defendants have accepted any plea deals, and that refusal has everyone watching closely. All 6 of them are now lined up to be arraigned in downtown LA, and the tension around this case is growing by the minute. The case is now sliding straight into the state's district court, and things are heating up fast. Prosecutors dropped a superseding indictment reaching all the way back to 2010, claiming Lil Durk built an organization called Only the Family, better known as FF. They say it started like a legit music movement, but had secret business going on behind the scenes, all tied to Chicago-raised rapper. Court papers are painting a wild picture, saying the group got mixed up in violent situations involving serious harm and deadly force. And prosecutors insist these moves were carried out under the rapper's direction. They're trying to frame it like Durk was calling shots from the top, pushing the whole operation forward. According to the indictment, the tension exploded because Durk had major issues with someone the paperwork labels as TB Condo Rondo. That feud reportedly sparked back in November 2020 after an associate of TB took the life of Durk's close friend, King Von, losing someone that close pushed Durk into a dark place. And prosecutors claimed he was ready to do anything to handle the situation and make sure his enemy felt the pressure. Things took a turn on August 19, 2022, when the documents say members and associates came up with a plan to shut down TB completely. They allegedly used 2 vehicles to trail him, stalk him, and line up a move that prosecutors are calling a murder attempt. The plan was bold and risky, and the whole thing spiraled out of control fast. The situation hit the streets heavy when shots went off at a gas station near the Beverly Center shopping mall. The crew that's now sitting as co-defendants with Lil Durk allegedly pulled out multiple weapons, including a machine gun, and fired off around 18 shots toward Condo's vehicle. The noise, the chaos, the panic, everything erupted in seconds. But the plan slipped apart when one of the rounds hit Condo's cousin, who was riding with him during the incident. Prosecutors say the entire event shows things were rushed, sloppy, and reckless in their evidence. They're claiming Lil Durk himself gave the order for Condo's removal, and the people he brought into it ended up turning the whole situation into a complete disaster. Lil Durk ended up putting himself in even more danger because the money behind this whole plan allegedly came from bank accounts and Fed funds, making the trail easy for investigators to follow. Flight and bank records later showed that A&F member, someone close to Durk, helped arrange everything and even sent payments to 5 alleged co-conspirators so they could fly from Chicago to California the day before the attempted hit. Things got messy when investigators uncovered what happened around the time those one-way flights were bought. According to the documents, the Chicago-born rapper reportedly told the F associate handling the travel, "Don't book no flights under no names involved with Sick Me." That message alone sent prosecutors into overdrive because it hinted at secret planning and caution, and they used that to tighten their case even more. The plan kept moving as the group traveled from Chicago to California, lining everything up like they were preparing for a major mission. And on that same day, Durk also made his way to California, but he took a private jet, fly alongside another alleged hitman the papers referred to as VNI. Prosecutors say this added another layer to the situation, making the whole thing look even more connected and intentional. But the sloppy mistakes didn't stop there. One of the 5 defendants reportedly went shopping later that same day, buying ski masks. That was supposed to be used in the hit. The wild part, prosecutors say he paid with a credit card in Lil Durk's name. That single move turned the whole situation into a bigger problem because it tied financial evidence right back to him. Prosecutors working on the case haven't let up at all. They've been digging into every detail, pushing for the toughest possible penalties for Durk and the others involved. In one of the statements made by the lead prosecutor, the tone was serious and direct. Mr. Banks, Lil Durk, is charged with orchestrating a cold-blooded murder that resulted in the death of a rival's family member. The prosecutor said, making it clear they were building a heavy case. United States Attorney Martin Estrada added even more weight to it, saying the shooting happened out in the open at a gas station sitting on a busy intersection, putting innocent people in danger. He called a violent act that hurt the community and made it clear that his office would have absolutely zero tolerance for anyone involved in such harsh behavior. Aquil Davis, the assistant director running the FBI's Los Angeles field office, didn't hold back when he spoke on the case. He made it clear that nothing can justify what happened, saying, "No excuse can justify this violent act." And he warned anyone thinking they slipped away clean. He said, "While you're going about your life thinking you got away with it, the FBI is piecing together the facts that will serve as your undoing." That statement alone had people realizing the feds weren't playing at all. Los Angeles Police Chief Dominic Choi also stepped forward, explaining how multiple departments linked up to bring some level of justice to the victim's family by tracking down everyone involved. According to him, this arrest is a culmination of the combined efforts of our partners in the U.S. Attorney's Office, the FBI, and LAPD's Operation West Bureau homicide detectives. And during their investigation, they discovered that Durk Daka, Lil Durk, was involved in this heinous murder. Hearing that from the LAPD chief added even more pressure to the case. Lil Durk is now facing extra felony charges as prosecutors keep digging deeper and presenting new pieces of evidence inside the courtroom. What started as a heavy situation has turned into something even more dangerous legally. His updated charges include 1 count of using interstate facilities to commit murder for hire, resulting in death, 1 count conspiracy, 1 count involving the use, carrying, and discharge of firearms, including a machine gun, and another count tied to possession of violent firearms connected to a crime that ended in death. The Chicago-raised rapper, now 32, originally faced these accusations in a criminal complaint, but things have escalated. 2 more felony charges have been added, raising the stakes even higher. The updated 4-count indictment names Lil Durk as the lead defendant, building off the earlier indictment filed on October 17th, and prosecutors are treating this like one of the biggest cases they've touched in years. The indictment from 2024 didn't just land on Lil Durk. It also named 5 other defendants tied to the deadly shooting of Wando Rondo's cousin back in August 2022. Prosecutors laid out every name clearly, starting with 28-year-old Kayvon London Grant, known on the streets of Atlanta as Cousin and VNI. Then there's 33-year-old DeAndre Dantrell Wilson, better known as DD from Chicago, along with 33-year-old David. Brian Lindsay, known as Brown Eyes, out of Addison, Illinois. They also listed 33-year-old Keith Jones, known as Flacca from Gary, Indiana. And lastly, 36-year-old Asa Houston, known on the South Side as Boogie from Chicago. While Lil Durk sits in federal custody in Miami, DD, VNI, and Brown Eyes are currently locked up at the Winnebago County Jail in Illinois, waiting to be shipped out to Los Angeles for federal court. At the same time, Boogie and Flacca are being held inside the Metropolitan Correctional Center in Chicago as the legal process keeps moving. Now, The big question the streets keep asking is this: what's really happening to Lil Durk on the inside? People close to the situation are sending prayers up, hoping he can hold it together until trial and be strong enough to handle whatever sentence might come if he loses in court. The tension around him is real, because insiders say the rapper isn't exactly surrounded by friends in there. Fans have been talking nonstop, speculating that Durk might be dealing with extra trouble because someone allegedly flipped on him, which is what landed him behind bars in the first place. The Grammy-winning rapper has barely spoken since he was grabbed at the Miami airport while trying to fly out to Italy, and his team has been silent too. That failed escape attempt made the whole situation even more intense. On top of that, there are unconfirmed rumors swirling that Lil Durk may be crossing paths with people tied to Quando Rondo inside the prison. If that's true, then his time behind. Those walls could get extremely dangerous because those connections run deep and the history between them is rough. Nobody knows for sure what's happening day to day, but people in the streets believe the rumor might have some truth behind it. When someone's locked up on charges like these, it's common for them to face threats or even get injured inside. And Durk might be dealing with that same reality. Some inmates could see him as a target because of the reason he ended up there, and others might simply want to test him or make a point. Lil Durk and his alleged associates were reportedly aiming at Quando Rondo back in 2022. But the tragedy ended with his cousin Savio Robinson being caught in the crossfire. And prison politics don't forget things like that. And before we wrap this up, listen close. If you've been rocking with us, then it's time to go Allen with the family. Turn those notifications on and hit that subscribe button right now for Rap Mirage. The streets never sleep, and we're nowhere near finished. There are way more stories, way more truth, and way more heat coming your way. We drop fire every single day, and tomorrow's upload is about to be even crazier, even deeper, and absolutely unmissable. Smash that like button, share this video with all your homeboys, and drop your thoughts in the comments so we can hear what the streets are saying. We'll catch you in the next one right here at Rap Mirage.